Alright you guys, what's happening? This is the first video on the QMJ YouTube channel. We're going to be doing some FIFA 19 and we're going to specifically be doing a career mode with my team, Aberdeen. What we're going to be looking to do with this career mode is something a little bit different on FIFA, because what I've noticed in the past playing the career mode in the Scottish League is that all we really have is the Premiership, and there's only 12 teams, which is a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest. Especially like when we talk about cup competitions. I mean, this game's not even got the League Cup in it. It's got the Scottish Cup, which sometimes you'll go straight into the quarter-final in, so it's not particularly ideal in that scenario. So I thought we could do something a little bit different, and I was inspired by our trip to Burnley a couple of months ago. Some of you might remember that we played Burnley in the Europa League. A couple of really competitive games, 2-1-1 draws that eventually Burnley won in extra time in the second leg. At the time there was a lot of criticism of this guy. And as much as that guy kind of represented the smugness that a lot of Scottish people see that English people have about English football, I personally thought of an idea. So we're going to go straight into career mode and we're going to do something just a little bit different with Aberdeen. Alright, so we've got Aberdeen here. As I said, it's something that's a bit of a bugbear with EA Sports for me. I would love to, I know there's not a great market for it, but I would love to see the Championship introduced. I don't think they would ever go any further than the Championship, but if you guys remember a few years ago when the Championship had Hibs, Hearts and Rangers in it, they still never introduced it then, so they're probably not going to do it now when the biggest team in there is Dundee United. To try and get some mileage out of this, I thought we would go back and see that Burnley guy. So he talked a lot about Burnley being Premier League standard, which is hard to argue. He talked about Aberdeen being League One standard, so I thought, let's put that to the test. So as you can see at the bottom of the screen, there is swap teams. So what we're going to do here is we are going to swap Aberdeen, and we're going to swap them with Carlisle United. The reason I chose Carlisle United is purely on a geographical basis, okay? Carlisle, in terms of the 92 teams in the structure in England, are the closest to Scotland, so I thought it would make sense. I mean, they're only a few miles from Gretna that used to be in the Premier League, so Carlisle can go straight into Scottish football. Now I know what you're thinking, this is League 2, what the fuck are you doing? Now, as I said, Carlisle, they're going into the Premier League because of the fact that they are the closest to Scotland. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at League 1, right? And we're going to select at random a team that's going to be relegated from League 2 to swap with Aberdeen. We'll look specifically at teams that we don't want to be relegated. I'm going to do this randomly, so if one of them comes up, then tough shit. But we'll look through some of the teams and see what we get. So, first one that I don't want relegated is AFC Wimbledon. The reason being that I think everybody enjoys the story of AFC Wimbledon, and also it would be Dons versus Dons, so it just makes sense. So hopefully they stay up. The next one is Coventry City. This is just a couple of reasons for this. One, I mean, I remember back in the day when Coventry were in the Premier League, and they, I believe, in the summer were promoted to League 1, so I'd kind of like them to stay there. Also, as a little Aberdeen link, I believe they've still got Jack Grimmer, and they were the team that brought James Maddison through, who was a cult hero at Aberdeen on loan. So I kind of hope Coventry stay. Next one is Portsmouth, and Portsmouth, literally the only reason I would like Portsmouth to stay is they are only one of 2 teams in this game in League 1 who have their actual stadium. So I'm hoping that Portsmouth aren't the team that goes down, but again, we're going to see what happens. And the final one for the same reason as Portsmouth is Sunderland. The Stadium of Light is in this game as well. We're going to be playing 40, I just remember we've got 46 league games in this stupid division. So I don't want Sunderland to go down. I would prefer them to stay up and get a game at the Stadium of Light. At least we'll get 2 games at a properly licensed stadium. So who's going to be relegated? I have no idea. You guys have seen it already, and it is Charlton Athletic. That's a little bit of a shame, actually. Another team that was in the Premier League not that long ago, but unfortunately Charlton, you're for the drop. So swap Charlton. Oh wait, now I've just chose Charlton. That was stupid. Swap Charlton for Aberdeen. And we are good to go. What the fuck is this, honestly? This guy is... I'm going to assume this guy is what most people choose, so we'll probably go with that. There's not a lot of choices here, so we're just going to pick the guy that was chosen originally. He's got a nice red and white tie on as well, so we got that sorted. And let's get cracking. I'm going to skip Ultimate just now because I'm shit and I don't want to get destroyed in the first season. We're going to stick with Legendary for a while and see how that goes. We may at some point put it up to Ultimate, but it depends if I get any better at this game, to be honest. Transfer window, right, enable first summer transfer window. Now, there would be no point in trying to see if Aberdeen are League 1 standard and go out and sign like 8 players before we start a game. So I am going to disable the first transfer window, and I'm going to need some of you guys' help as well, because we probably will be doing some business in January, so I will need some help as we go. So we're disabling the first transfer window, and we're going to go purely with what Aberdeen have in this game right now to start at least the first half of the first season, and we'll see how it goes. Stadium Ivy Lane, I'm going to stick with Ivy Lane, the reason being that in terms of the generic stadiums in this game, Ivy Lane is like the only one that even looks remotely like Pittodrie. The side stands don't, but like there's a single tiered stand behind the goal with the poles coming down the middle, which looks a little bit like Merklin Road, and there's the two-tiered stand behind the other goal, which looks a little bit like the Dick Donald. So we're going with Ivy Lane. We'll stick with the default. I nearly changed it there, but we'll stick with that. And let's get cracking. We're not going to bother with any of these, and can't fucking exit. So we're just going to pick the one with the most money. I'm not going to play it. We're going to sim it and we'll see how it goes. So we're in the career mode just now. As you can see, EFL League One. There are Aberdeen. I didn't bother with any of the other Scottish teams. I thought I'd kind of leave the Scottish League as it is. Kind of because I'd like to see how Carlisle United do, to be honest. I'd like to see how that goes. But, so we're just going to stick with Aberdeen in England. Wimbledon, Accrington, Barnsley, Blackpool, Bradford, Bristol Rovers, Burton Albion, Coventry, Doncaster, Fleetwood, Gillingham, Luton, Oxford, Peterborough, Plymouth, Portsmouth, Rochdale, Scunthorpe, Shrewsbury, Southend, Sunderland, Walsall and Wickham. So some plum ties, as you can see. Who's Bradley Cook? Bradley Cook is one of our scouts. Let's see what he's found. Bradley Cook's one of our scouts. We've got four. We've got a Turkish guy and we've got a Danish guy. The Danish guy for some reason is in America rather than Denmark, so fuck knows where that's going to go on. Let's hire a scout, why not? I want to change this guy to Scout Scotland, for fuck's sake. Manage scout, there we go. Relocate. You, my friend. For fuck's sake. Oh, Jesus. You, my friend, are going to Scotland. So he's got a scout report for us as well. Let's see what we've got. Oh, here we go. Oh no, it's Zinchenko fame. Yeah, that's not going to work. Right, so far we've not really got a huge amount to work on there, but we've got plenty of time to do it. Our vision and expectations, let's see what they expect. So, they expect us to win the league, so we will do our best. They expect us to grow one youth academy player by at least 5 overall points, so we'll deal with that. Youth development, they want us to sign one player, I'll get to that in a bit. Brand exposure, sign one crucial first team player assigned to a forward position. That's a January thing, so we'll worry about that. Financial, finish the season with a profit margin of 17.6 million. Are you fucking serious? In League One? Jesus Christ, that's, I mean, I don't know how we're going to do that, but we'll try. Again, win the league title, and they want us to reach the last 32 of the FA Cup, which I think is the 4th round. We're going to start in the first, so we'll see how that goes. And continental success. This is the drawback of playing in League One. Unfortunately, there's going to be no Europe for Aberdeen. We won the European International Cup, so let's see how we got on. We played Mouscron. I think they're Belgian. We drew. We played Cercle Bruges. We beat them. Eupen, don't know who they are. We beat them as well. Semi-final was against, I think that's Valenciennes. Draw, so I assume we beat them on penalties. And then we beat Cercle Bruges again in the final. So that will be 2 or 3 million in the pot. So well done, guys. We've got an additional $1 million in the transfer budget, so I'll take it, you know what I mean? We might need it in January, depending on how this is going. Alright, so we're in our squad hub now. I know a lot of the people who'll be watching this will be Aberdeen supporters. In case you stumble upon this by accident, I'm going to do a quick run through the squad, and we'll see what we've got to work with here. So, Danny Rogers is first, he's on loan at St Mirren, we'll worry about him next season. Joe Lewis, number 1. He was best known for playing at Peterborough, and he actually made the England squad a couple of times with Peterborough, although I don't believe he was ever capped. He's been fantastic for Aberdeen, to be honest, and yeah, he's going to be a mainstay in our team. I believe he's our highest rated player as well, so we're definitely sticking with Joe for the meantime. Number 2, Shay Logan, he's been with us for quite a while now. He came from Brentford, he started on loan. He's been an absolutely solid right back for us, so Shay again will be an important player in the team. I think anybody rated 70 or over is going to be important to us as we start off, especially if we do get promotion in the first season. We're going to need to keep as many of these guys as possible unless we get our doors blown off with an offer. Shinny's actually looking like our highest rated player. Shinny's Aberdeen through and through. His contract is expiring at the end of the year, so we will sort that. Don't worry, we're not losing Shinny. We need to keep Shinny for this, but yeah, so we will get that tied up in a bit. Number 4, Andy Considine. He's been with Aberdeen for about 800 years. His contract expiring as well. He might be one we'll probably let go as well, despite, I mean, he's played his whole career at Aberdeen, so I'm going to try my best not to get sentimental in this game, so we'll see how it goes. But number 5 is Scott McKenna. It's going to be tough to hang on to him. I've actually done training, if you see the +1. He's already at 70, he's just 21 years old. McKenna was the subject of a £3.5 million bid from Celtic in the summer that was turned down, and he was the subject of a loan to buy deal by Aston Villa where the fee was supposed to be 7 million. I'm not 100% sure if it was because the window was closed they were going to definitely pay the 7 million, or if it was to see how he gets on and then we might pay 7 million. I've no idea, but we're going to do our best to build up Scott McKenna in this game. We've already got a point on by doing like one training session, so yeah, we're going to see how that goes with McKenna. I do want to, even if we do go far with this, I do want to keep some of the original Aberdeen players, and 21-year-old, already a 70 overall, McKenna looks a prime candidate to be kept. Number 6 is Mark Reynolds. He's not played that much, to be honest, over the past wee while. He's been with us for a long time. He's been with us since the fucking Craig Brown era, for Christ's sake. But yeah, 67, so he's better than Considine, so he might be in the team before Considine. Considine might be in the bin, which is a shame. Chris Forrester, another ex-Peterborough player. He's not really hit the heights. It's early, but he's not really hit the heights with Aberdeen in the first couple of months. So we'll see what happens with him. He's 66, so he's probably likely to be a backup player, but I'm sure he'll get some game time, especially with the schedule going to be mental in this. Number 8, Stephen Gleeson, signed from Ipswich. He's, again, not really hit the heights. He never really looked fit at the start of the season, and yeah, I'm unsure about Gleeson, but we'll see how it goes. We might need him at some point in this, so we'll keep an eye on Gleeson. James Wilson, I'm actually surprised he's that lowly rated. He's a 66. He's on loan from Manchester United. I thought just because it's Man United they might overrate him a bit in this game, but he looks tidy. Again, he's not fit at the moment in real life, but he looks like a talented player, so we'll see what we can get out of him in this game. Niall McGinn, he's 30 years old. He's fucking balding in this game as well. Jesus, what is that? I know they don't do face scans for SPFL players, but Jesus Christ, that is ridiculous. McGinn, he was with us for a few years until he left to go to South Korea, came back very quickly. Hasn't really hit the form that he showed in his first spell so far, but he's got time, so hopefully things will turn around in real life. And again, over 70 overall, so he's going to be crucial for us in the first year or two. Gary Mackay-Steven, one of those guys that can be unplayable at times and one of those guys that can go missing at times. I think what's going to come in handy as well, I haven't had a look at their individual stats in this, but GMS is likely the fastest guy on Aberdeen's team, so I'm going to hope that FIFA know that and they're going to give him a little bit of pace, so he might be a danger down the left. He was also the guy, if you remember the story from last year, who had to be fished out of the Kelvin because he was drunk. Yeah, I'm glad he's still with us, and we'll see how it goes. Greg Tansey, I don't even know if he's still with Aberdeen, to be honest. He's certainly not number 12, because Aberdeen fans know about that. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know if he's still contracted with us. Fuck knows what's happening with Tansey, but hey, he's a 67, so we might use him at some point. Scott Wright, he's a guy we should probably train. He's fast as anything as well in real life, so I hope the game replicates it. He looked brilliant. He came in at the start of last season, looked great after he finished the season before with a hat-trick on the last day against, to be honest, a Partick Thistle team that had given up, but you know. I'm hoping that we'll get something out of Scott Wright in this game. His overall rating isn't great, so if we can do someone with his pace, that would be ideal. Sam Cosgrove, he's shit in this game. He hasn't looked great in real life, but he's a big beanpole. Stevie May, really talented football player, but just hasn't really got there with Aberdeen yet. I'm going to hope that we can do something with him in this game. I'm at least happy he's got a ponytail in this, so he at least looks more like Stevie May than the Niall McGinn thing does in this, but hopefully he'll score more goals for me than he has in real life so far. Michael Devlin came in from Hamilton. He probably should be a little higher rated, but he's come off a very serious injury, but played really well since he's been in the Aberdeen team. I think that Devlin and McKenna have struck up a really good partnership, so hopefully we can replicate that in the game. Lewis Ferguson, he's a young lad. We've already got a +1 on him as well. He's 18. We're going to do our utmost to get him up to something resembling a 70 as the game goes on. He signed from Hamilton. I think he only played like 10 or 11 games for Hamilton Accies, and in his second game for Aberdeen, he scored the overhead kick at Burnley, so he's memorable for that. Definitely looks like a talent. I think, to be honest, the way things have been going, when he's been playing more advanced, just behind the striker. I think he's more suited to playing a bit deeper. Thomas Cherney's the backup goalkeeper. Dominic Ball, not a bad centre midfielder, to be honest, but I think he's more of a central defender in this game, so it's going to be tough to really find a space for Dominic Ball in this game. He might be our centre-back cover when somebody gets injured, but we'll see. Frank Ross scored a great free kick last season against Rangers. That's all he's really done. He's a 54, so at 20 years old, it's going to be tough to really get him through, but we'll see what we can do. Dean Campbell, he's only a 50, but he's 17 years old and he has been in the first team. He's a guy that I'm going to concentrate on a lot in training to try and get his stats up and try and get him in the first team as time goes on. The same with Bruce Anderson. Now, Bruce Anderson scored against Rangers in his debut. He hit the bar against Dundee in his second game. He looks like quite a natural finisher, although the game against Motherwell recently, he did balloon a great chance, so the jury's out, I suppose, on that one. I like the look of Bruce Anderson, to be honest, so again, he's a guy we're going to try and build up in this game. Tommy Hoban, he's on loan. I'm sceptical, actually. I think he's been injured so much that I actually think we might have sent him back already to Watford. I'm not sure, but he's a 67, so we might get some use out of him in this game. Max Lowe's only a 65. We probably do need a left back. It's going to be either him or Considine. We'll figure out what we're going to do from that. Lowe's looked quite impressive in these few games for us so far, so I'm a fan, so I will probably give Lowe a shot at some point. I'm probably going to look at pace, and I'm going to assume Lowe's faster than Considine in this game. He's certainly faster in real life. And I think having pace at fullback is going to be important, so Lowe's probably going to get the nod. Conor McLennan, young lad, 18 years old. He has been in the first team once or twice, but never really got a run. And Craddock and Harrington are two guys who've never been in the first team. So we're going to monitor these guys as time goes by and see if we can get anything out of them. So that's your squad. We've got one more bit of business to do and we'll wrap this baby up. I'm going to go in and we're going to see who we're playing on the first day of the season and see what our opening games are for episode 2. Alright, so here we are, we're at the start of August. We're going to have a look at our August schedule and we are opening the season against Sunderland. So that's going to be quite interesting. We are away from home as well, so it's going to be at the Stadium of Light. The first home game is going to be Shrewsbury. We have Blackpool in the Carabao Cup, so that's fine. And we will round out the month with Accrington away, we have Peterborough United at home, and we will finish with Fleetwood at home at the end of August. So we're not going to play all of those games in episode 2, we'll maybe play 4 or something like that, and we'll see how it goes. But if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, feel free to subscribe to the channel. As I said, this is the first video, so we have to start somewhere. Any subscriptions or any likes would be much appreciated. This was QMJ, and I'll talk to you again sometime.